What's up, everybody? This is Reese, and the SMITE beta is here. The NDA has been lifted, so I figured I'd do this quick gods overview for those of you who aren't in the SMITE beta or who haven't pre-ordered. So we have Agni, god of fire. He is a Hindu god and definitely a ranged mage. He's got some very nice range abilities. We've got Anubis, god of the dead, who is an Egyptian god, also a ranged mage, but obviously is more the dark type theme. Ao Kuang, a Chinese god, dragon king of the eastern sea, also a ranged mage. He's got some cool area control abilities like his tornadoes and stuff, and he does a good amount of damage. And we have Arachne, which is one of the two gods that is not in the pre-order package, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong there, I'm not entirely sure. But it is the Weaver. Has a lot of utility, but it is a melee assassin god. Then we have Artemis, goddess of the hunt, which is a ranged character, obviously. Not a mage, but still. It's a pretty cool character overall. Then we have Bastet, goddess of the cats, an Egyptian god, is also a melee assassin. Then we have Hades, king of the underworld. I love how he looks. Whoever designed him deserves a pay raise. And he is a ranged tank, which is an interesting combination, but it actually works pretty well. Then we have Hebo, a Chinese god, the god of the Yellow River. I don't know why it has to be Yellow River, like, whatever. I guess that's part of the lore. Anyways, he is also a ranged mage. We have Hel, goddess of the underworld. And I think he, or her, I don't know what it is, but it is one of the more interesting gods in my opinion, because it, at level 5, when you can unlock its ultimate actually switches all the other skills between darkness and light. Like you can get healing skills and buff your teammate and create shields and stuff, which is pretty cool. Then we have Kali, she who destroys, who is a Hindu god, melee assassin. Then we have Odin, the All-Father. He's got a ton of defense, but he also has some initiator abilities, like to jump right in there. I believe that's his first ability, actually. Then he also has a ring of spears to trap people, so it's pretty cool. Then we have the Egyptian god Ra, and he is pretty amazing. His ultimate is like a laser beam of doom, shoots so far, it does a good amount of damage. I like him. Sobek, the other god that is not in the pre-order package, if I recall correctly. God of the Nile, an Egyptian god, and he's interesting because he is a mix between ranged, between physical and magic. I mean, he seems like he'd be a physical god, but looking at his abilities, he's got some magical attacks in there. Then we have Sun Wukong, who is the Monkey King, a Chinese god, also a melee assassin. Vamana, a melee tank Hindu god, the 5th avatar of Vishnu, and despite his looks, he's actually very powerful. Melee tank, he has an ability that makes him grow to enormous size, I think even bigger than Ymir, which we'll see here in a second. Definitely a cool god. Then Ymir, father of the frost giants, a Norse god, and he's got a very cool ice wall ability which combos well with a lot of the other gods' abilities, a lot of the mage gods particularly. And then finally, at least at this point in time, we have Zeus, the god of the sky, a Greek god. He's a ranged mage, but he actually has a good amount of defense, and his second ability increases his defense for a period of time and also increases his speed and reflects some damage back to the source, I believe. So he's a pretty cool combination. And I'm sure they will add more gods over time. They seem to be following very closely to the League of Legends model, so would not be surprised. But that is what we have so far in the beta. So hopefully this video was helpful for those of you who aren't in the beta. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Reese out.